in. So basically, the idea is because of the whole stay home and the kind of social distancing and restrictions that have been placed on all of us and how that's driving some people crazy, every other Saturday I'm going to be doing live streams, and then on the other Saturdays, regular Saturdays, I'll just be posting the videos, which I have a whole bunch of topics typed up, and I might cover some of them, but then I'll still do full videos in greater detail later on. But yeah, so if you guys can hear me, let me know. Whoever chimes in first, let me know if you can hear me. But as for right now, hi, ciao, how's it going? Let's see. One thing just right out of the gate is letting you guys know on the other channel, I finished the entire month's worth of me playing games that I had done voiceover in. So all those videos are up. There are other games. Maybe I'll do it again in the future, but as of right now, all of those videos are up. So if you guys want to go check those out, that's there. This month is now going to be Marvel month. So doing a Marvel month, and so we're doing all the Marvel games that just all the Marvel games we can get our hands on. So that's that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and first let's make sure. I'm gonna go check this on my side. I can't hear it, but I might be able to. Oh, what am I doing? Just go to my homepage. Hi, I'm a big fan. Oh, cool. That cool creator. Awesome. What's one of your favorite things that I've done? Like, what got you into my channel, I guess? What got you into, watching me? What made you a fan? I'm eager to know. I actually am wondering what made you a fan. Because, that's just a nice thing to know. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Kind of thing. Something that you don't get from a lot of other, companies. Oh, thank you. Oh, good. Sometimes I don't know if they're helpful, or sometimes I don't know if they're just me ranting about particular brands, which a lot of people that comment seem to think that I'm just shitting on certain microphones. That's not what I'm trying to do. But if you found the perfect mic for you, for your career, through my videos, awesome. Couldn't be more thrilled to hear that, because that's the goal. Can't see my screen right now. I'll move this up just a tad. Yeah, there we go. Boop. Okay. There's something seriously wrong with my keyboard. Boop. And post. Alrighty. Okay, so. Hey! Let's talk about there were some. I'm good. There were some things that I wanted to talk about, and okay, so there was a huge topic that I was going to talk about and post a video about this Saturday, but it was so big and such a hot button issue that I wanted to make sure that I had all my thoughts collected before I actually talked about it. But it was on the idea, and I'm going to kind of roughly go over it here. It was on the idea of a lot of professionals in voice acting saying that, because I had heard this so many times, that it's better to give it away for free rather than get paid, less than SAG rates for voiceover. I'd heard them a lot say, the actual quote varies depending on who says it, but that's basically the gist of it. That their opinion is that it's better to, just give away your talent for free rather than getting paid less than industry standards. And So I had heard a lot of people say this, and so many people that I was going to be doing a video on it, but one person in particular, and what made it hard for me to just post a video about it a long time ago was because the person who I had heard it say last was someone who I admire, someone who is a big deal to me, someone who's kind of like one of my role models. I don't like saying the word idol. That's a little too extreme. I don't worship them, but I admire them, and I kind of look up to them and use them as kind of a benchmark for where I'd kind of more or less like to see my career. And they were doing a live chat. I'm not going to say who just yet. I will in the video. But they were doing a live chat, and I posted a question to them because I was eager to know what their opinion was. Even though it's something that I didn't need the question answered because it wouldn't affect my career either way, no matter what they said. But I was eager to know what they had to say. And their general idea was it's better to give away your talents for free rather than getting paid less than industry standards. And I obviously have an opposite opinion of that. And again, I'll be going into much, much greater detail. I don't know if this is the great place to just say something like that because I want to make sure that I have all my thoughts collected. Yes, lots of voiceover. Okay, so actual voice actors, most actual voice actors are really, really helpful. A lot of the people that claim to be voice actors that aren't really voice actors, they more or less just pose as voice actors. Most of them are unhelpful. And it's on a lot of Facebook groups and stuff like that. They're often like kind of just, it's kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of thing. You can't really tell who's really helpful and who isn't. But yeah, there are some that are just, they don't actually do voice acting for a living, and they kind of, they pose as professional voice actors, but they don't actually make a living off of doing voice acting, and so they don't really count. As far as what mic am I using? I'm using the Audio-Technica 87.5R. I have another one right here. Might as well show you guys. I think every live stream I've done, people ask, which is not a problem. It's not a problem. It's just very interesting that people seem to like the sound of this microphone. So here is, there you go, just kind of like caught up. So this is the Audio-Technica 87.5R. That is what it looks like, a very small form microphone. Probably about that big. I don't know if that's good. There's my head and there's the microphone. Hope that's good enough reference. I like this microphone because it is a shotgun mic. So it is directional. So when I need to block out background noise, I can put it in a direction or angle it to where it's not going to pick up nearly as much of that. But it's not so directional that it doesn't get, it doesn't have that fall off when you get off axis. So it's a little bit more similar to a small diaphragm or a pencil condenser, but at the same time is slightly more directional. So there we go. This is the microphone I normally like using when I do interviews or when I'm one of the mics I take on the road. It's also one of the microphones I use when I do film and I'm indoors. If it depends on what the setting is, whether or not you'll use a pencil condenser, shotgun mic, or a small shotgun mic. But this is normally one of the ones that I use. It just works out pretty well. I like it. What mic is he talking about? This one. This guy. This bad boy. Okay. Did you think... Oh, let me pull up the comments on here. Maybe it'll be easier to read. There we go. That's easier to read. Because on here, they just fade away. Okay. What mic are you using? The Fuzzy... the Fuzzy Wuzzy 3000? I wish if there was a microphone called the Fuzzy Wuzzy 3000, I would gladly endorse them. Great voice. Thank you. What mic is he talking about? This one I already answered that. Do you think that you were going to get up to 6,000 subs when you started? Uh, when I started on YouTube, that was like 13, 14 years ago. Nobody had that many subscribers. Getting 10,000 was amazing. Getting 1,000 was something to brag about. Nowadays, if you just, post, vlogs about your dog once a month, you'll still probably get 1,000. It doesn't mean that you'll be monetized, but you still probably get 1,000. I had no idea that I would get 6,000, and after a while, I stopped setting a goal for how many subscribers to get, but when I hit 6,000, I was like, oh, wow, thank you. Actually, I did a video trying to thank everyone who subscribed to me, every single one of them. The problem is that YouTube only allowed me to view, I think, 1,000 of them or 2,000 of them. So I didn't get to thank everybody. But I spent probably about 4 hours trying to thank everybody. Did a live stream on that. You can probably find it somewhere. It's boring, but I did it. Okay. I ordered an AT875R from China. I am worried it might be fake. Have you heard about counterfeit versions of these? Yes, I have heard of counterfeit versions of these. If you want to, if you need help deciding whether or not it's fake or real, contact me, and we can compare it to mine. We can send photos, and I can help you out, figure that out. There was a website for figuring out if your microphone is fake, but I don't remember what that website is. I think Mike Delgadio has a video about it. But if you want to email me, it's FunnyGuyTimmy@gmail.com. That's, the easiest email for questions and answer and stuff like that and back and forth. If I don't respond immediately, totally fine. Just sometimes I have stuff that I'm like recording and I don't get to it until like the next day or day after. But I will help you with that. Missed the beginning. The beginning's not that interesting. I got sold a fake. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so the more expensive microphones and the more name brand microphones like the Sennheiser MKH416, any of the Neumanns, the Shure SM58 and SM57, those get faked all the time. And this is one of the reasons that I only, well, not only, but mostly only buy microphones through Amazon. And I recommend people only buy through Amazon. There is a little bit more of a higher standard. On eBay or any of these kinds of cheaper knockoff sites, these all different kinds of like websites that have a lot of like Chinese product, a lot of those is where you're going to find fake stuff. So unless it's Sweetwater, B&H Photo, or Amazon, I normally don't post links about it. So, so be aware of fake shotguns. Yeah. Is it worth paying extra to those sites to get better auditions? What sites? Oh, are you talking about like, you're talking voices.com, voice123, that kind of thing? I was looking to see if there was anything I missed. Let me know if you're actually talking about the pay-to-play sites in the next comment, and then if so, I'll answer that. Wish I had 1,000 LOL, but I don't. You'll get there. Just, keep posting. Keep posting, post regularly, be engaging. Apparently that's the biggest thing now. Don't buy any mics from China unless it's made by a Chinese company. Read that back to yourself a little bit. I paid $700 for the MKH416. Those two. Not the 600 new company. If y'all want a cheap MKH416 copy, there is, what is it called? It is the, I'm gonna look it up. there is a really good. It's not a cheap knockoff, but it is. It's a perfect copy of the Sennheiser MKH416. I just don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Oh, that's the wrong profile. Copy strike. Okay. Is it in here? Oh, come on. I bookmarked it earlier. All right, fine. Oh. Synco? Ah, there it is. Okay, so it is the Synco, Synco, and then Mic D2. Synco, Mic D2. From what I've heard from everyone else's reviews, it is a perfect copy, and it's less than $300. So, if you want something that is the Sennheiser MKH416, but you don't have Sennheiser MKH416 money, go with that. It's not it's not a fake Sennheiser MKH416 being sold. It is advertised as their own mic that is a perfect copy. So that's a better buy. I'd say go with that more than anything. All right. Oh, okay. What camera are you using to film this? My iPhone. My iPhone, actually. Because I was trying to film, do live streams with my computer, but there was an issue, and doing live streams through various programs and using webcam, my computer wasn't able to handle it for some reason, and I kept having audio or video issues, and so it's just easier to do my iPhone and then just plug my mixer into the iPhone. Okay, yes is the answer to the pay-to-play sites. Okay, so pay-to-play sites, and this is another thing that I've talked about basically in every single live stream, but it's not a problem to answer that question. I'll just try to run through it quickly for those who've already heard it. Pay-to-play sites are good and bad. And what I mean by that is, yes, there are larger companies. There are bigger companies and larger clientele on the pay-to-plays. And what I mean by that is I've seen stuff from EA, I've seen stuff from Warner Brothers, I've seen stuff from Disney actually show up on the pay-to-play sites. And that's like voices.com, Voice123. I actually did some stuff for, I'm trying to think of the game company, but it was a big game company that was announced at like E3. Actually, I think I've done 3 games that were announced at E3. And I think 2 of them were from auditions on the pay-to-play sites. Now, I do not currently pay for the account, for the pro account on the pay-to-play sites. But I still get, on occasion, private auditions sent to me through these websites. So that's what I mean by, yes, it's good to have an account, but until you are making a lot of money, more money than you need to survive off of, on the free websites, there's no reason to pay for the pay-to-plays. Because if you're not capable of competing against, you know, the better voice actors or the professional voice actors on Fiverr or Casting Call Club or ACX, which is an audiobook website, then you're probably not ready to compete against much more professional voice actors on voices.com and Voice123. And the reason is because some agencies are okay with their voice talent being on Voice123 and Voices.com now. They just don't want them to advertise it. So it is becoming a little bit more mainstream, and it is something that you may think of doing at some point in time. But as of right now, due to the fact that it's hundreds of dollars right out of the gate, if you're not making hundreds of dollars on your voice acting, then there's absolutely no point. I would say you need to make probably about 10 times what those websites require as a upfront payment, because a lot of them are doing annually now. Then there's no point in even getting that. So focus on the other websites and worry about the pay-to-plays later. Okay. Thanks for the positivity. I plan to keep trying. The thousand subscribers. Yeah, you'll get there. Um, yeah, you'll get there. You're thinking of the no. I'm actually not thinking of the Deity S mic 2. That's actually a different mic. That actually is a different mic. The Cinco mic D2 is actually one that's even closer. Yes, the Deity S mic is really close. It is really close. But I would say that the Cinco is much closer. I would love to get my hands on both of those and then put them all three against my Sennheiser and actually see which one's the closest and which one actually sounds better. But that's probably like altogether, we're talking about like $700 to get both of those mics. So probably going to be away in the future. Let's see. I think I have that and the Cinco D2. Wait, do you have both mics? You have both of those mics? Cool. I don't know exactly. Is kind of junk though. I don't know if you have the same mic that we're talking about. I mean, it could be junk. I don't know. I haven't personally reviewed it. Compared to the Deity. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the Deity. Okay, so the company Deity is actually a more respected company. Let me say that. It is a more respected company. But as far as sound goes and matching it to the Sennheiser MKH416, I believe the Cinco matches up closer. The build and the outer shell might be higher quality on the Deity, but again, I haven't personally reviewed these. I'm just going off of other people that I know who have reviewed these, other voice actors who also have Sennheisers and have, done reviews on them, and I'm more or less just basing my opinion on that. That's why I can't say for sure, but I can say maybe. Hey, can I ask you something? That's what this is all about. My dad has a MXL 990, and I have a teenager boy voice. Okay. How old are you? That would be my question. And I make gaming commentary videos. Should I keep this mic or give it back to him and use something else? If you can buy your own mic, you should definitely get your own mic, especially if you're going to be making gaming commentary for a long time, long form goal. You should definitely give your dad back his mic. I mean, don't steal his stuff. But I would say the the MXL 990 is a totally fine microphone. I know tons of people that use it. I don't know how high pitched your voice is, but if your voice is close to cracking, and then your voice is going to change like in 1 or 2 years, then don't worry about it. That would probably be a totally fine mic. But if there's probably like quite a few years before your voice changes, then maybe. But I can't think of what mic to suggest. Maybe a dynamic mic would be better because they're less sibilant, they're less sharp on the high end. But I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. By the way, I use Adobe Audition for recording, and I use compression, a de-esser. That's good. De-esser limiter, and a bass and treble EQ. I mean, those are the basic 3 things that everyone should do when doing like video editing and voiceover. Don't go too heavy on the compressor or the de-esser. And as far as the bass and treble roll off, perfect, totally fine. Okay, the 990 works fine if you don't mind the high-end boost. Gotcha. Yeah, I would say it's very similar to the Audio-Technica 2020. As far as its kind of sharp and brightness, it focuses a lot on the higher end. It's not bad, it's not terrible. I've heard much brighter microphones, much more sibilant microphones. A lot of the newer, like NW800, is definitely brighter. Doesn't really sweeten anything. It's pretty flat and then just kind of has this like weird sharpness in the high end. So you know, it's not a bad mic. It's not a bad mic. If you have to do a little de-esser, do a little de-esser. It's fine. I did 1 year. Oh, 1 year buyout from a Pella window voiceover. Pella window voiceover received 5,000. Oh, nope. Yeah, received 5,000. Is this? Wait, is this the voiceover website thing? Do you think that's fair national buy? Give me more information on what you're talking about. Is this a voiceover website? How much did you pay? And it was for a year, I guess? And you're saying you got 5,000 possible auditions? Let me know. I have both. Well, good. I don't know if you should get the MKH700 or I think I still have it. The MXL 770. I still have that somewhere. I've reviewed it and the 990 as well as the 991. MXL is one of those companies that it's basically, okay, so if you're starting on voiceover, almost anything from MXL is probably going to be, within your budget, it's probably going to be a good buy. They're not perfect. They're not all tailored to specific voices, but it's a trusted company with reliable microphones that will last, a good number of years if taken care of, and they sound decent. You will probably still have to do some EQ and some compression and all that kind of stuff, but it's not like some microphone companies where you've never really heard of them or they don't really have like support and they don't really have a lot of options. MXL is, they're good to go for. The Synco capsule distorts really easily. The Deity is a much better build mic. I've had 2 of the Syncos. Oh, 2 of the Synco, what was it? Mic D2 or whatever? 2 of those? As in one went out and then you got another one? Question mark? I'm 16. Okay. So, all right. I'd say just stick with the microphone that you have right now. It's probably totally fine. The MXL 990 is the one that I'm using currently, and I love it. Well, see, there you go. There's someone with a testimony. I have a deep dull voice. Really? Okay. Deep dull voice as in you're not putting a lot of energy behind it, or deep dull voice as in your natural register is really low and it's like kind of like this. It's it's not very articulate. If you mean like that, that's just how you normally talk, even yelling, then I'd say work with that. That could be your pitch. That could be your market to go into. But if it's a matter of, you're just not very energetic and you're not very loud, then just work on that. Be a little bit more open, be a little bit more relaxed. Do you recommend the DBX? Okay, if it's for any kind of compression strips or any kind of anything that would normally go in that kind of daisy chain system, I've talked about this a couple times, but not too deep because I don't really use that kind of system. I've used one of the DBXs. I don't know which one, but it was one of those compression strips. I've used something like that. And I didn't like it. It didn't work very well, and it was very complicated. The only people that really seem to know how to use those kind of things are people that are actual engineers or who have, radio background, because that's the kind of system that you have in radio. I find those kinds of things completely unnecessary, especially nowadays, considering so much is digital and you can record so much right into your computer and then, clean it up if need be, as is. I don't think buying anything like that is necessary. The only time you'd want to buy something like that is when you have an actual studio, when you have a big studio. You got desk space, you got seating space, you got your own, full walk-in, and that kind of stuff. I feel like the only time I see that kind of stuff is when it's like music. Because I mean, if you're dealing with drums and guitars and anything that's going to have a loud, punchy, bass or anything that's going to, all of a sudden spike, you're going to want a analog as well as a digital compressor. So, but for voiceover, it's not necessary. It's absolutely not necessary. If you're working picnic, is your work? Oh, okay, picking up. Okay. Is my work picking up now? Actually, it was been picking up about a month ago. Early April, it had already started picking up. So, yeah. There was only, I think I lost 2 clients. Both of them because they were getting downsized and the company had to cut cost. And instead of going with voiceover, they decided that all their YouTube videos were going to be just text now. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, it's fine. I mean, you're an animation and cartoon, and if you want to do just text, good luck. But that was the only thing that I think I actually lost. I was hired to do voiceover. I was hired to do a voiceover. Again. Were you hired personally? Were you hired through a website? Were you hired through email? What's the question here? I'm glad to help, but I'm not sure I understand. I'd say that's pretty fair for actual payout, but if you had to give royalties, I'd say it's kind of low. Oh, as in 5,000? All right, apparently I need to figure out what this is. Because I still don't quite understand. I'm guessing it's a company, Pella Windows, and you received $5,000. National buyout. Okay. For a year to run. Was it running on TV? Was it running online? Was it running? Okay, here we go. Okay, thanks, man. My pleasure. I was hired to do voiceover for a commercial. They paid me for a national buyout. I received $5,000 for 1 year buyout. Is that fair? It's negotiate. I'm negotiating myself. Okay. Oh, currently, TV for a year. Then no. If it was something they were just posting on their Facebook, or there was like a radio, maybe. But for TV, no. I would say go look up. Let's see. Okay. Oh, that's not it. My mouse is acting up. I'd say go look up voiceover industry rates standards. Let's see if I can move this over without affecting anything. There we go. Okay. No, this would be broadcast. Okay, so voices.com actually does have an industry standards rates sheet that is pretty accurate. It's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it does break it down in terms that most people understand. So I would go check that out. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this. Paste. There we go. Okay. Oh. Oh, right. That's not. Okay. All right, let's go back. If you're negotiating that yourself, oh, hey, $5. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's flattering. I wasn't expecting anyone to, donate, but thank you. When I learn how to play my guitar, I will start doing stuff like that for people every time. I'm trying to learn guitar. I really am. Okay. So, my natural register is C3. Is a C3. Okay. Okay. I would still say the mic is fine. I think the only reason, okay, you know what? Email me. We'll do some back and forth email, and I'll try to see if that is the right mic for you. Email is funnyguytimmy@gmail.com. Ben10plays. Email me, and funnyguytimmy@gmail.com, and we'll do some back and forth with audio samples, and we'll see if you need to change mics or not. I'll do that. Okay. How do you figure that out, Ben? There's probably some apps you can use. I know there's a couple apps that I use to find out, if I'm hitting the right pitch and stuff like that. So there's probably something like that. I would like to better describe my voice. As of now, I just say dulcet tones. It's not a bad descriptor. If you're not sure what you sound like to other people, I would say go ask people, other voice actors, or family members or agents, because we hear ourselves differently. What we sound like is very much different than what other people hear, because we're very used to our own voice. So I would definitely ask family and friends, and if you have an agent, ask an agent or other voice actors, how would you describe my voice? I'd say do that, because apparently my voice isn't as high-pitched as I thought it was. I thought I, had a very young and very sharp and sibilant voice, and people were like, no, it's pretty smooth. Which, see, I didn't know that. Okay. Just download a vocal range. Yeah. Thanks, I will. I did because I wanted to know my vocal range. Okay. But my falsetto is high, but I think is it pretty. Okay, cool. Yeah. I wouldn't say use terms like alto, falsetto, baritone, and stuff like that too much, because not all agents in who you'd work with voice acting are going to know these terms. These are kind of more singing terms rather than talking terms. So it's more beneficial to have a description of how your voice feels, or how people would interpret your voice, rather than its singing vocal range. So I would definitely go and get some more stuff, like that. Okay. Yes, TV only. I knew I got screwed. It's totally fine. Listen, if you sold your voice for less than it's technically worth, because you just didn't know any better, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not your fault. Don't beat yourself up. Don't kick yourself. It's gone. It's past. You got paid an amount of money, and $5,000 isn't bad. You just know better next time. That's it. Don't worry about it. Move on. If you get big clients like that again, you'll know. Thanks for the rate sheet. Did the rate sheet did that actually show up? I don't know if that actually showed up. I don't know if that actually showed up. Anyway, thanks for the rate sheet. Okay. Wow, thank you so much. My pleasure. At FunnyGuyTimmy, any breathing exercises you can recommend? I had a list of breathing exercises that I could recommend. but they're not really, there's nothing really too special about breathing exercises for voiceover as opposed to exercising or anything else. I don't know if there's any practices for getting better at holding your breath or being able to, you know, extend your lung capacity or anything like that. But I do also know that there are some people who are better at breathing examples, breathing techniques, stuff like that. And they do have videos. And there are people that I tried to get in touch with and tried to reference, but not that I know of. Yeah, I do know that before, this is one thing that I can recommend. Before going into the booth, before heading to the booth and, you know, getting ready to do a full day of recording, I always recommend obviously taking a nice warm shower, comfortable shower. And my thing is singing. I sing in the shower. You know, warm water, I sing in the shower, and I try to hold notes as long as possible. And a combination of the warm water and the practicing singing does relax me and does open up my airways and does actually prepare me for a day of recording. Now, that's not necessarily something that you would do, you know, if you went to a studio. That's more or less how you'd prepare your day. But that can help. Maybe just singing in general, getting better at singing. And I do have a video on this. Getting better at singing will actually help you with voiceover. So maybe suggest that. Find some karaoke songs that you know, and they have to be actual singing. I'm not talking hip hop. I'm not talking R&B or anything like that. I'm talking like actually singing. Even if you're not good, you don't have to be good at it. Just, you know, holding those notes and stuff like that, because your vocal cords are muscles, and you do want to work out your muscles. You do want to work them out. And so when you hold a note and you sing for a while and you'll feel that kind of tightness or that burning, that's the same as like doing a whole bunch of curls. Now, you don't want to go too far that you strain it and they become so exhausted and so inflamed that you can't record for the rest of the day. But once you get to that kind of a little bit, that's probably good. Drink a lot of water, give it a chance to relax, and then go into recording. I think that's the best I can suggest. Which app did you download? Thank you, sir. Good. Who was the actor you talked about earlier that helped you? Oh, the person I was going to talk about that was kind of like a role model very, very early on. I'm going to talk about them in the video that I actually do, which after I'm done here, I'll probably record that video. But so there's someone that I've communicated with multiple times. There's someone that I've admired. There's someone that was we're kind of on a similar path, but we're from different areas. I'm from the independent freelance area, and they're from the agency department. They're also much, much older, and they've been doing voiceover since before things were digital and online. So we have two completely different ways of looking at it. And I want to be very careful with my words because I'm not trying to say that they've said or done anything wrong. I'm not putting them on blast. But, you know, at the same time, I do want to share my experience and my perception and feelings on what it is they said. So that's it for them for the most part. But probably next Saturday, you'll see the video on that. So stay tuned and you'll see it. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Make sure you remember, because I am curious. I think that was an answer to that question. Thank you for the tip. I should have asked exercise for vocal technique. Oh, okay. I should have asked exercises for vocal techniques. Okay, gotcha. I can't be close, but I always try Steven Tyler vocals. Oh, we're still talking about the. Okay, we're still talking about the back and forth. The why did that comment get flagged? Why did that one get stupid fat fingers? Why did that get flagged? YouTube, you silly. Yeah, like I really like Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie or the song, and I tried to sing it. Okay, so the song. After I sang, that might be an intensive one. That I mean, if you can sing that, good for you. But that might be a little too much. If that might be too much of a warm up before every single recording session. But if you're already really close and it's not hurting your throat, keep going. He's terrible at hitting notes. All it is just holding it out, holding the note as long as possible and making those vocal cords really work. Got you. I always careful to as I like to. Why are these getting flagged? Got another one flagged. What is this? I am a wicked singer. Check out my channel. I sing. Okay, so it's a check out my channel thing. Okay, so I can see why that would get flagged. But I'm like expecting like flag to be like profanity. Don't market your stuff on my channel. Just don't do that. That's not how you get friends. That's not how you get people watching. If you're a good singer, people will come. If you build it, they will come. Kind of thing. Don't use the F word. Yeah, for real. I'm always careful about it. Okay, cool. Okay, what was the other thing that I was going to talk about? Let me get some water real quick. Oh, there was one thing that kind of happened today. And again, I don't like to put people on the spot. I don't like to mention people's names, even if it's positive. Mostly just because, I don't want to, ruin any kind of relationship with anybody. I don't want to, make someone feel like if they didn't feel like sharing to everyone and it was just a one-on-one, I don't want to ruin that. But someone today emailed me and they had a very particular and unique situation. And theirs was they live in kind of a hoarder house. And every now and then I get these emails that really kind of breaks my heart and really is kind of very serious. I myself used to live in kind of a hoarder's house. And it bugged me. It gave me anxiety. It depressed me. And it was a big deal. And they wanted to get into voice acting, but they didn't really feel like they had their own space and they didn't have a lot of room. And I'm trying to, help them out and trying to give them the best advice that I can. If there's anyone else out there who has an extreme situation, extreme living condition, or any kind of, external disability, like anything that's really holding you back, and you want to talk about it, you need any help, email me. Absolutely happy to email. It's not just for coaching. It's not just for microphone reviews. If you need any help and you need someone to talk to, email me. Again, FunnyGuyTimmy@gmail.com. There are some people with extreme cases like that. And yeah, so I just want to make sure that people know about that. Also, if you're having any difficulty with clients, if you're on like Fiverr and people, you're like every client just wants to, they just want a penny pinch. Talk to me. I'll help you out. We can work out a system for you. Sometimes my voice is described as radio. Okay. But sometimes people think I have a could when have a could when I don't. I think I must have a really nasal voice. Any tips on managing that? Mic technique, processing. As far as a nasally voice, the easiest thing would be to angle the microphone down. If you have a nasally voice and you're speaking directly in the muzzle of it, it's going to get all of this. And this is where the nasally stuff comes from. If you have a nasally voice and you want to get more of that chest sound or you want to get more bass, angle the microphone down. So we're going to do that like this. So I'm going to be speaking over it at more of a 95-degree angle. See how a lot of the nasaliness or a lot of the sharpness just kind of faded off? But now you're getting a lot more chest noise and it's way more bassy. That's an easy way of doing that. As far as microphone, you could actually get something, it depends on your budget, but getting something that's like a dynamic microphone, and we were talking about this earlier, getting something that's a dynamic microphone could actually give you more of that bassiness if you have a very sibilant voice. So something like the Shure SM7B would probably be a real good buy. You'd, of course, want to make sure that you got a really good and clean preamp, as well as a cloud lifter to give it that extra gain that it needs. But overall, focusing on something that's more dynamic might give you that edge. Or you could go shotgun mic and point it more between the chin and the middle of the chest. To kind of cut through that. Those would be the easiest things. So again, it kind of depends on what microphone you have and what your setup already is. Your studio is already set up as. But yeah. I do, but at the moment I am okay. I may take you up on that. Oh, okay, cool. I live with a hoarder alcoholic and a highway is in spitting distance from my space. Gotcha. I am doing this. Refuse to give up. Good. Never give up. Never surrender. And that is not just a joke on Galaxy Quest. That is, it's actually a really good thing to just say and keep in your life. I meant people think that I have a cold. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So it's nasally and it's all up in here. So it's kind of like pinched. It sounds kind of pinched. If you want, email me. Again, email me. FunnyGuyTimmy@gmail.com, and we can work out with like doing some audio samples, and maybe I can help you out with that. It might be something that's a little bit more specific of a request and needs more specific help, but that might be it. Oh, what music you guys think he sings in the shower? Yes, please, absolutely. Everyone down below, what music do you guys think that I sing? Everyone down below. There's no reward, but I'm actually eager to know what you guys think I sing. Hey, I have a Behringer UM22, pretty good preamp or interface. If I scream in my mic at max gain, will it blow up my preamp? Because I've done. First of all, never max gain. Do not max gain that. Um, I don't think I've ever recorded anything with the gain all the way up. There's no reason to. Even at the quietest, you never want to have a max gain. Always really really low gain. It will absolutely blow the the audio file. It will absolutely peak. I don't know if it'll ruin the gain or ruin the interface with a channel or anything, but it might affect it. It might affect it. So if you're looking for something to do more let's plays in that you can do like some screaming and stuff like that. Let me get this in a little bit. And you're wanting to do some more screaming, I would definitely recommend finding a good mixer with some compression on it, some light compression. That's what I use. I use the Yamaha MG XU 10XU or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I do have a video on that mixer. It's lasted me for years. It has a really good compressor that's really smooth. It doesn't have any stepping, doesn't have an kind of thing, and the gain is smooth. The EQ is really good, and it goes right into the computer. And yeah, it just sounds really good. I think you can find them for like less than $300 now. So if you wanted to move from the UM22 and you wanted something with some gain or with some compression, so you don't pop it or blow out the audio, I would definitely say look into that. Until then, you may just have to live with a little bit of clipping, as long as it's not too extreme in your videos. That's all I can say about that. Okay. Would you ever accept an offer to become a voice director for a TV show or anything like that which requires you to direct many different voice performers? How certain lines need to be. Yes, I actually have done stuff like that. I actually have done ADR for multiple films, and they come to my studio, and I will direct them here. I've done. There's a couple games where I was the lead voice actor, and they needed other voice actors. It was very specific, but a lot of the other voice talent that they got didn't really have acting experience or voice acting experience, so I actually had to direct them through Skype and through stuff like that. And then I took the files and I did all that on my end. There is a series called Mr. and Mrs. Stormtrooper that I produced, wrote, directed, produced, and stars them as one of the characters. That we're still trying to get that off the ground. It's a funny parody about the life of stormtroopers, because they're actually they're people, and it wasn't until you see The Force Awakens and you see Finn take his helmet off, you're like, oh yeah, they're people. They're not drones. They're not robots. They're actual people. And so it's a little comedy. So you can actually just look up Mr. and Mrs. Stormtrooper, and you should find the first pilot episode. Still working on episode 2. But yeah, and that I also had to work with other people. And episode 2, I actually finished doing all the voice acting for that. And again, had to work with a lot of other voice actors. Unfortunately, didn't really do much in the way of live directing with them, because everyone had different times and different work schedules, and it was very complicated to do that. But yes, I am more than willing to do stuff like that. I actually got 3 emails over my career, maybe more, I don't remember, where there was animation studios from India, China, and Japan had contacted me because they thought I was actually a dubbing studio rather than just a single freelance entity. And they wanted me to be in charge of all the dubbing for their cartoons. And I had to be honest. I had to tell them, I'm sorry, I'm just a single guy. I don't have a team with me, but I would love to work with you in whatever capacity. But if you're looking for a dubbing studio, that's not what I do. And they appreciated the honesty and stuff like that, and they moved on. And so since then, it actually has been a goal of mine to do something like that. But as of right now, there aren't many projects that I do that for. But yeah, absolutely, I would totally love. I've directed multiple films. I've been an actor for over 20 years, and I have written, I've produced, and I've been doing voice acting and audio editing and Foley work. I've done everything. So I actually don't like working with producers and directors who've never done acting, writing, anything like that, because a lot of the times they're very hard to communicate with. They have no idea what they're talking about, and they don't know how to communicate what they're thinking to other people. But I find it very easy to communicate with actors because I can communicate with them in terms that I understand. And when it comes to voice acting, it'd be very easy. Sorry, that one went on a little long. You were humming the Inspector Gadget theme song earlier. Yes. LOL, good call there. Okay. Don't remember where that was. I think he sings Mac Mac the Knife. I don't know if I should say yes to that. In Adobe 32-bit mode, you can clip. You can't clip. Oh, okay, just lower the signal. Right. Yeah, that's actually really good advice. In Adobe Audition, at 32-bit float, I think it is. You basically can't clip. There's a couple field recorders that have the exact same feature where you can't clip, and when I heard that just blew my mind. So there's so much ceiling. But I don't know if that works with all interfaces, though. I don't know if that works with all interfaces, because I don't know if some interfaces have kind of a cap that if it goes past their gain, they don't send signal through. I don't know. Maybe. If you're just joining, please say what you think. Okay. Yeah. Tell me what you think my my song of choice in the shower is. Yep. Is it okay to pirate programs? No. No, it is not. Why? What program would you need? There are so many great free programs out that to pirate a program is pointless. If you don't have the money for any of the Adobe stuff, there is, like Adobe Audition, Audacity. Audacity is free and it's great. There are tons of free video editing programs. There are tons of free. There's Blender for 3D animation. There's all kinds of stuff. You don't need to pirate programs anymore. Not that you ever needed to. It's just like pirating programs now is like so unnecessary. It's there's no monopoly anymore. People don't have a monopoly on specific things. So please don't. Yes, Reaper does have a free version, a trial version, but I think to get full features, I don't remember how much it is, but it's not technically a free program. It is a good program, and Mike Delgadio has tons of great videos on it, but it's not free. Oh, brah. FBI, open up. I think I know what that's about. I like Adobe Audition or Premiere or Photoshop. Talking about the pirating thing. No, don't worry about it. There's no reason. For Photoshop, there's GIMP, which works just about as well. For Adobe Audition, except for a few features, like multi-channel recording at the simultaneous and the 32-bit float thing, Audacity is totally fine. Premiere, I think DaVinci Resolve, there's like a free version of DaVinci Resolve, and there's another free video editing program that's pretty good, but there's no reason, there's no need. I tried to get more. Guess they're just don't feel like typing. Maybe for singing in the shower. If that's a question mark, yes. What songs do you think I sing in the shower? Reaper is free for travel, but push make pay them. Plus, it's making you money. Pay 'em, man. LOL. Oh, for Reaper? Eva Reaper license is not that expensive. Yeah, it's not that expensive. You mentioned that you have done several voiceover work you have done for many years. Yes. If you have to think from memory of the best memorable voiceover jobs you've ever done, what would it be? Oh, God. I would say most of the best videos on Cartoon Hooligans. I've been doing Cartoon Hooligans for many years. I think five years or more. Those are some of the more fun ones, and they had less than 1 million subscribers when I started, and now I think they're like 4 million. I think, not positive. I've gotten to do all kinds of characters that most people don't cast me for. Captain America, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine is one of my absolute favorites. The Thing, one of my absolute favorites. Daredevil, love doing. Not Daredevil. Deadpool. I think I might have done Daredevil. Deadpool. I've done Groot. A little bit of Thor. Goku, Vegeta. God, there's so many that I've done with Cartoon Hooligans. I did some Nurglings for Warhammer 40K Inquisitor, and I did. There's a game, very campy game called Deadly Tower of Monsters, where I played a mad scientist. That was one of the games that was announced at E3. I did Deadpool for an official Marvel commercial, I think. It was for a card game, and they wanted a Deadpool voice for that. And it was one of the first large NDAs I ever had to sign. I did, gosh, from memory. I mean, those are kind of the ones that I like the most and I'm the most proud of. Can't think of many others. I mean, there's so many, but I can't think of any like off the top of my head. I had to go through my resume, which I don't want to go through right now. That's boring stuff. How old am I? I am 30. Oh shit, 31. Turned 31 last month. You sing Inspector Gadget's song in the shower? That's my guess. Actually, no, I don't think I've ever sung the Inspector Gadget song in the shower. I don't know why, I just haven't. When you said you've been doing voiceover for 20 years, is that like... I was like, what? Did you start when you were 12 or so? No. I've been acting for over 12 years. I started when I was 6. Started acting when I was 6. Started voice acting when I was like officially voice acting when I was like 16, I think. And so that I've been doing for 15 years now. But the acting I've been doing for longer. Yeah. Oh man, it's gonna open up the vocals less. He goes a cappella with Inspector Gadget. I do. Okay, so anyone who wants to know the kind of stuff I sing, I actually do have a playlist of karaoke challenges that people have presented to me, and I've done like just singing videos. None of those are monetized, so I don't do it that often. But when people are like, "Hey, you should really try this song," I try it. Some of them are good, some of them are garbage. But those are the kind of songs I sing. So if you want to go look those up, go for it. Truly enjoy your content. Thank you. May email you for some additional advice. My pleasure. Go for it. Gladly. Wow, I wish I could do voice acting. There's no reason you can't. I don't know what's holding you back. Yeah, you have a microphone. And you really just need kind of treated space. I don't know what your recording setup is for your channel, but definitely get into that if you want to. If you want to get into voiceover, get into voiceover. If you want to get into, if you want to get into singing, there's really nothing to stop you if you have a good microphone. It looks like you have a good microphone. I'm too tall for my little space. Okay. You can sit down and do voiceover. If you can sit down and do gaming videos, you can sit down and do voiceover. So I can't stand up. You can still sit down. It just depends on what it is you're trying to do. And then later you can get an actual stand-up space later on. If it's something that you want to pursue. If not, don't worry about it. But you can totally get into it with the microphone that you have, setting up a little bit of, treatment around the area, which is actually more important than the microphone. The treatment is way more important than a microphone. And then, find some auditions, try out. I think the best place to look for auditions for free right now is Casting Call Club. Castingcall.club. I used to say castingcallclub.com, but I think it's castingcall.club, which is all character work and some video game and stuff like that. And it's all free. It's right now it's still kind of amateur, but it's free. So what do you expect? If you want to get into voice acting, that's a real good place to try voice acting. See what you can do. But anyway, looks like the comment stopped. And it is, going on for about an hour and 10 minutes, which is kind of the average. So I'm going to see if there was any questions that I missed. I think that was it. I think that's it. Yeah. But anyway, this was just a live chat that I'm going to try to do every other Saturday. So this upcoming Saturday, next Saturday, is going to be an actual video. It's going to be one of my videos, and I'll probably be talking about the voice actor that I did earlier in this video and then halfway in this video, who had the idea, who kind of doesn't really think positively of the freelance and the pay-to-play and the, independent market. And again, it's a touchy subject, and it's probably going to be controversial, and I'm going to try to touch the subject the best way I can without stepping on any toes. But stay tuned for that one. So anyway, some audio clips sometime later, I guess. Go for it. And I will respond as soon as possible. Thank you for all the help. I will email you when I get the AT8750R. Yep. Get it, let me know, and I will gladly help you compare it to mine. See if what you have is legit. If it is, then good luck. If not, then I don't know if you'll be able to get your money back, but you can do something with it. You'll be able to do something with it. It's fine. And until next time, peace.